for the columns and get the data under the newly defined columns. So as you can see now, we have the same data, but our column names are different. In this demo, we are going to see the ad hoc query page implementation by using the offset and fetch clauses. So again, I'm using the AdventureWorks sample database, and let's say we want to get all the rows sorted by the column department ID. This is a traditional T-SQL code, and as you can see, we get the results. Now, if we want to skip the first 5 rows from the sorted result set and return all the remaining rows, in the order by clause, we use the offset clause by specifying that we want to skip the first 5 rows. So we run this and we see that the first 5 departments are skipped from the result set containing the departments. Now, if we want to skip 0 rows but return only the first 10 rows from the sorted result set, along with the offset clause, we are using the fetch next clause. So let's run this, and we see that we just got the first 5 records. Of course, we could implement this by using the top clause along with some sorting, but this is much handier. And the last demo for the programmability features is the sequence objects. So I'm using TestDB and I want to create a new sequence. There are 2 ways of doing that. I can either create a sequence using T-SQL code or visually create one by navigating to the programmability category under my TestDB database in the sequence object. So you can see here there's already a sequence, but I'm going to delete it as we're going to create a new one. And by right-clicking on sequences, we can create a new sequence, specify the sequence name, the schema, the data type from my sequence, and the start value, the increment by value, maximum value, minimum value, and so on. I'm going to create a sequence called sec1 with this T-SQL code. So let's check it out. We can see that we have our sequence created. Now, how do we use a sequence? We use it by utilizing the next value argument. So by including this code, this argument to my T-SQL statement, I get the sequence value. If I run it again, I get the next value, and so on, so on. And as said earlier, this sequence can be used within the scope of the entire database and not just within a single table, like the identity columns. So we can use these objects, the sequence objects, for importing data into tables and in many other scenarios. We also have some new security features to check out, and these are some new permissions like the grant, revoke, and deny permissions to the search property list, and the create and alter any server role. A very important new security feature is that under the new we have a new role management scheme, so we can define our custom server roles. The store procedures handling traditionally handling roles like the sp-add SRV role member and sp-drop SRV role member are deprecated, but instead we can now use the alter server role statement. Some new hashing algorithms are also included in this CTP of SQL Server Denali. We have the hash bytes function supporting the SHA2 underscore 256 and SHA2 underscore 512 algorithms. And another very significant feature are the contained databases. The contained databases are databases that are not binded to a specific instance of SQL Server Denali. We can create these databases, and the respective users within the databases are not binded to any server logins. This is very important because it offers portability. We can create a database, design a database actually on a specific instance of SQL Server Denali, then move it to another instance without having to create new logins and fixing the issue with orphaned database users. We can have an initial database design on a contained database and further use it from test to production and so on. In the next demo, we're going to see these security features in action. So let's say we want to create a new server role. We navigate to the security category, and in server roles, we right click on it and we have the option of new server role. So this is the dialog that allows us to create a new server role. Here we specify the name of the server role, the owner if we want to specify an owner for this. We can select the securables like having access to other logins. If we want to have a new server role that is an exact copy of the SA server role, we can just click on SA and grant all the permissions. And so on. In the members tab, we can add members for this role, and in the memberships, we can select memberships in which our custom server role will be participating. And the test server role is now created. So when we create a new login, and navigate to the server roles tab, you can see that our newly created custom server role is listed, and we can select it for the new login we are creating. Great. Now, let's try to create a contained database